Welcome to the Thriving Soulpreneur podcast. This is a space where we talk about human design, spirituality, and neuroscience, all applied to business and money. My purpose is to help struggling solopreneurs to run sustainable businesses, to become financially resilient, and to create powerful change within their communities and beyond. I am your host, Andrea Niño de Guzman, a numbers girl and neuro geek who left the corporate world to do what she does best, to catalyze transformations. I am thrilled and honored to have you here, and I really hope to serve you in the best way possible. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of the Thriving Soulpreneur podcast. I am Andrea. It's so great to have you here. Just like always, it's such a gift. I feel so honored and so grateful for you to allow me to share a little bit of your time every week as I share a little bit of what brings me joy around human design and the Gene Keys and business and money. So before I forget, I wanted to take some time to say thank you, gracias. Thank you to all of you who reached out this week, who downloaded the podcast, who listened to the episodes, who reached out to me with, messages, who posted on my feeds. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know that I do this because I want to be of service to you, because I feel that when we share information from our heart, it transcends borders, it transcends obstacles, it goes deeper. And that is my purpose, to be of service, to share what I know, to share what I'm passionate about, so that you can then use it in the best way that you can. So now let's begin. So this week, I want to talk about leadership, influence, recognition, and insecurity, and how all of this ties up. And if you're curious about where you can find this in your human design chart, you can find it on gate 31. And the shadow of this gate, the gate 31 is the gate of the leader in quantum human design. So the shadow of this gate is that need for recognition and insecurity. So when you're out of alignment, everything that you're doing, all the actions that you're taking, maybe in your business. Well, let's talk about business, because that's one of the focus here. Every action that you're taking in your business is driven by that need for recognition and insecurity. And it shows up in different ways, but it's basically the intention by which you're doing things. And the way that I've seen it show up in personally as a solopreneur, the way that I've seen it show up in others is very much on social media. So, for example, when we talk about social media, one of the things when we're creating a strategy, when we're creating a marketing funnel or sales funnel, and we use social media in our sales strategy, what comes up is, how are you going to measure it, right? And the main metrics to measure the success of your campaigns or the success of your posts are, things like how many views, how many likes, how many interactions, how many comments, how many shares, that they save it. There are many different metrics depending on what type of social media platform you're working with. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm saying that these metrics are wrong. Quite the contrary, they're very useful, because they're going to give you the information to help you get the people that are following you from one stage of your funnel to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, until they become customers. Maybe those are the metrics that you need to measure to help you create more efficient or more effective campaigns, right? But here's where the shadow of this energy comes into play. It's when we begin to tie our worth or the value or of our ideas with these metrics. So, for example, if you have a post that isn't performing very well, quote unquote, it isn't getting enough likes, or if it isn't getting any shares or isn't getting any comments, then you automatically make that mean that either your idea was wrong, that that there's something wrong with your way of thinking, that maybe you shouldn't have posted anything, that maybe you were too vulnerable, that maybe that the way that you wrote was too long, that they don't like you, but you make it mean that there's something wrong with you, right? And because we don't want that, because we want to be recognized, right? We want to be loved and recognized by others, then you start obsessing about those metrics. And I don't know if it has happened to you, but it has happened many times to me where I post something and I'm just so obsessed, and I'm just checking how many likes did I receive, how many comments, was it shared, who shared, what were the comments, and all of a sudden, it kind of like becomes this vanity metric where I feel so happy, so good with myself because my post has 100 likes. And I'm really? And I can't tell you how many times I've gotten caught up with this. I don't know. Has this happened to you? I'm willing to bet that it has. So what would be the other way to go about this? Yes, we have those metrics. Yes, we need those metrics. But the other way to go about this when we are standing in the balanced energy, the more aligned expression of this energy, would be to connect with our intuition, write something that feels true to our heart, post it, share it, and then forget about it. And if it has any likes, great. If it has comments, if it shares, great. But you don't make those metrics mean anything about who you are or the quality of, or the wisdom that you're sharing with others. Can you tell the difference between one and the other? Because if you're in the shadow, and if you become obsessive about the metrics, if you become obsessive about how others are going to perceive you, then what you're doing is you're hiding. Because your focus is so much on, I want to be liked, I want those metrics, I want, my success is measured by how many likes I'm receiving. Then all of a sudden, your message changes. All of a sudden, you start posting things on what others expect you to say. Your message is driven by how you want others to see you. But you're not really fully expressing who you really are. And that's another way of hiding. And you could be showing up on social media all day, every day, and still hide because you're hiding your truth. And we could go to the other extreme of hiding, where you're not showing up at all because you want to show up in perfection, and you're waiting for the right post with the right copy, with the right picture, with the right lighting, with the right everything. And that never comes. And then, all of a sudden, weeks have gone by without you sharing anything because you're hiding in fear. Because you're so afraid of how others are going to see you if you show up as normal, as flawed, as not perfect. So there's two ways of hiding. You can be very active on social media and still hide. You could be not active at all on social media and still hide. And I'm not saying that it's bad not to show up on social media. This is something that we've discussed in many of the coaching groups and the coaching calls with my clients. The truth is, you can show up on social media whenever you want. You can post whenever you want. You don't have to show up every day. At least not from my perspective. As long as what you're doing is driven from your heart, it's authentic, it's true to you. Who cares how often you post? I mean, somebody who's on social media will completely disagree with me, but that's how I see it. Who cares if your intention is to stay true to yourself? Because that energy is gonna go beyond, the computer screens and the cell phones. You're gonna sense that energy of when somebody's showing up from their authenticity, from their joy, from their inner alignment. Just like you're gonna sense the energy when somebody's showing up just to be liked, right? So notice with this energy, where in your business are you hiding? Where in your business are you doing things because you're seeking recognition from others? Where in your business are you trying to put yourself out there, but you're being driven by this deep, deep, deep sense of insecurity? And again, no right or wrong. It's just let's begin to have that awareness of what's the intention behind everything that we're doing, right? And the other side of this energy, so the shadow, insecurity, and seeking this recognition. The gift of this is leadership through influence. And this is it's a different style of leadership. The way that I see this leadership is not about, oh, I have the power, let me impose what you're supposed to do. I am better than you, or I am more experienced than you, and therefore you have to follow me. Quite the contrary. It's about leading from behind. It's about leading through your actions, through your influence. It's about leading through your own sense of congruency. So as you show up authentically in your business, as you show up in a way that feels true to you, you are also influencing others around you. Because remember that at the end of the day, we're all like these ripples of water, especially if you're working on a service-based online business, where you have many people who are observing you, especially if you're working, in the personal transformation industry. At the end of the day, you influence others through your actions. You carry that ripple effect throughout you. And it's not just with your clients, it's not just with your followers, it's with your community, it's with your family, with your friends, with your kids. You influence on many different levels. Maybe the only person who might not be influencing others would be that, hermit that's living in an island that has absolutely no contact with anybody. But if you are a human being who lives in a city with other people around you, you are being a leader. You're influencing others through your actions and through your congruency. And it doesn't matter if you're just starting. It doesn't matter if you have 14,000 followers on your Instagram page, or if you have 400 or 40 or 4. It honestly doesn't matter. The point is that people are watching you, they're observing you. And they are not influenced by you fulfilling their expectations, but rather they're influenced by you stepping up and showing up in your own true essence and in your own authenticity. Because chances are that as they see you embrace that authenticity, you're going to inspire them to do the same. As they see you step out of your comfort zone and pursue your dreams and build a business that feels completely aligned with you from a place of joy, from a place of ease, from a place of flow, you are going to inspire them to do the same. So your influence is not just about what you do and how you say it or what you say. It's also about, it's the sum of all those parts of congruency, of how are you showing up in your life? How true to you are you being? And the truer to you that you are, the bigger your influence in others. And the same thing happens not just in social media. The same thing happens when we create programs, when we create offers. We still hide. We hide because we're afraid. We hide from a sense of insecurity. We hide because we feel that we're not ready. Maybe we hide because we feel that we haven't embodied and what we want to teach. And we hide when we put out offers that we feel are going to sell fast, but they're not true to our hearts, right? So think about that. The reason why I brought this up is because I am somebody who has experienced this. Who even sometimes still experiences the shadow. I am somebody who has focused on these vanity metrics of, my worth or the value of my idea is highly dependent on how many comments or how many likes I receive. As silly as it sounds as to say it out loud to you right now, I feel like I'm confessing myself, but it's true. I've done it. And I know that many people have too. Many people have obsessed about it. Many people have started new accounts because of it. And it's okay. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. But it's just that if you're doing it right now, or if you feel that you're holding yourself back because you don't have the perfect message, copy, picture, lifestyle, whatever, if you're focusing on how others are posting or what others are posting, and you're hiding this gift that you have in you, this amazing message that others need to hear, for me, this is your call to action to say, no, show up just as you are. Show up in your imperfection. Show up in your true essence. Show up and let's see the true you, because the world needs to hear you. Because we need to hear you. We need to be inspired because you are a leader and we need your leadership. We need your guidance too. And it's a disservice if you keep on hiding. Or if you hide the true you because you're looking to please others, because you're looking to fit into an expected role, because you're looking to be like any other coach out there. But the truth is that no other coach is going to be you, because you are you and they are them. They are unique. They are in their essence. And you are unique. You are in your essence. We just need to start showing up that way. Okay? All right. I thought this was going to be much longer, but we're like 15 minutes in, and that's pretty much what I wanted to share about this energy of how we just we restrain ourselves from fully showing up in our authenticity, and we focus on how others are going to perceive us. So before I leave, I just wanted to leave some questions, and if they feel aligned, journal on them. If not, okay, but because many of the questions that I've received go along the lines of, okay, how do I embody this? I understand it. I have this gate, or I don't have this gate, but how do I embody this energy? How do I embody this energy of leadership through influence, this inspired leadership, if we want to call it that? And so I thought, okay, maybe let me give you some questions for you to start looking into that of how am I embodying? So question number 1 is, what is your place of service? What do you stand for? Why are you doing what you're doing? And for me, the answer has to be beyond, I'm doing this because it helps me pay the bills. Okay, that might be the tip of an iceberg answer, but let's go deeper. Why? Why are you doing what you're doing? What do you stand for? What truth are you speaking for? What is your truth? And then the next question is, are you speaking from this place of service, from this inner guidance? And then if you are perfect, if you aren't perfect, wherever you are, think about, to what extent are you holding yourself back from fully showing up, from fully speaking up your truth? To what extent are you doing things because you are looking for that recognition? Or to what extent are you driven by that recognition? What are the stories that you've heard about how you should run a business, or even what success means, like if you're pursuing that recognition? What's driving that recognition? And now that you've learned, and since we've shared that the contrast between, the shadow, which is doing things because of recognition and insecurity, and the gift, which is leading from a place of, inspired leadership, or through your place of influence, of you being congruent and of you being fully authentic and showing up as you are. Now that you understand the difference, how will you choose to experiment this energy this week? How will you show up in your business starting tomorrow with the way that you post, with the way that you engage? Not just with, on social media, but with others. Will you take that step to fully show up and maybe speak a little bit more of your truth? Will you take that step and think about what masks do I still carry, of masks of perfection? Do I still carry that I maybe no longer need to hold on to? So think about that. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Message me, reach out to me on social media. I'm on Instagram at ang.transformationcatalyst. Reach out to me, share your thoughts. Did this resonate or not? And let's have that open conversation, that deep, honest conversation of, yes, you know what? I haven't, or yes, I have. I am, and this is what's working, and this is what's not working, or this is what I choose and how I choose to show up moving forward. Because at the end of the day, the choice is yours. I mean, you could just take this conversation, all this information, and not do anything with it. Perfect. You might just keep it in your awareness, and when the timing feels right, you might do something about it. Or you might feel seen. You might feel inspired to go out and start connecting with the true you and stop hiding, or hide a little bit less, right? Because when we hide, we tend to hide in different stages, and maybe at some point in time later, we're going to talk about that. But let me know what resonated. And if you don't have a social online business, but you do carry a position of leadership, the same questions apply to you. Are you speaking up? Are you managing your business? Are you managing your team? Are you leading from your true essence? Or are you doing it because you need to fulfill an external expectation? Because you're looking for that recognition of those peers. Because I've seen it in corporate. I've seen it with my big clients. And I see it online now that I work with many solopreneurs. Right? And the whole point of this is for us to recognize all of this so that we can stay connected and reconnect with our true authentic self. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for sticking around, for listening. Send me your comments. Share this episode. If you feel that you can add value to somebody's life who may be struggling with this, send them this episode. Leave your comments, leave reviews, rate the podcast, anything that you could do so that we can continue spreading the word. And this is a preview of what may be coming up in August. I'm thinking about creating a human design happy hour. I'm still in the process of downloading what that's going to look like. For now, it might be a 2-day event to help you embody different energies, different archetypes of your human design blueprint. I still don't know when it's going to be or how this is going to play out. Like I said, it's coming to me in bits and pieces, but I have the name. It's going to be the Human Design Happy Hour. I know that it's going to be in October, and I just want it to be a very laid back, low-key, very intimate event where we have these deep conversations, where we just take it beyond just a knowledge, and we start embodying all of this deep, amazing wisdom that we have from human design. All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, for your feedback, for your comments. I'm sending you the biggest hug you could ever receive. So much love, so much light. And I will see you next week with a new episode. We might be talking about collaboration. I think that's I know it's percolating. So yeah, we might be talking about percolation. We might be talking about collaboration. Anyway, have a great week. Take care, everybody. Bye.